What's going on, everybody? I wanted to hop on here and just give you guys an update about what's been going on with Magnetify. I was going to do this a month after we launched, but I realized there really wasn't much going on after a month. So this is going to be my 2-month update because I have had a lot of things go on within the last 2 months since we publicly launched. So to take you back, in June, early June to be exact, I actually did a soft launch to my email list and to the people who had beta tested Magnetify. So during that soft launch, kind of found some things, and that's what you'll understand if you do decide to have a SaaS and launch it and everything, that when you actually launch it, you're going to find bugs and you're going to find things that don't work well. And thank goodness I did not do a super big public launch, because during that time when I launched softly to my email list, I had sign-up issues. And what I mean by sign-up issues is basically it was too complex. It was not a click the button to sign up and then you go to the sign up page and pay and everything else. It was click the button, put in your name, email address, and then go pay. So there was like 3 or 4 pages. And I recall telling my developer at the time when I had actually gone through that, hey, I think this is pretty complex. This is going to hinder people from actually taking that step to sign up for Magnetify to use it. And I remember going back and forth with him because he's like, well, did anybody say anything during beta testing? And I'm like, no, they didn't. But of course, no one's going to say anything during beta testing because they're not actually paying for the software, right? But it was going to be a big deal if I were to run any kind of traffic to Magnetify and have people blocked up at the beginning and not even signing up for the trial. So we finally got that situated. So now it's like you click the button and you go directly to checkout, okay? So with that being said, that was situated, and then I decided to launch on There's an AI for that. And so my plan for Magnetify is to do as much organic as possible as far as advertising goes. So advertising, organically. And then I decided to go ahead and submit Magnetify to some AI directories. So one of the directories that I submitted Magnetify to was There's an AI for that. And we did really good on There's an AI for that. So within about 24 hours, we had about 1,600 people come to the website, and I had multiple signups, had a ton of bots. I was not expecting that because, I have this flood of traffic, and I'm looking on my admin dashboard, I'm looking in Stripe, I'm looking at my Google Analytics, and the numbers just weren't mathing, considering the fact that it looked like I had a lot of users that were showing up on my admin dashboard, but not paying customers over in Stripe. And so we finally figured out that those were bots, thank goodness, because I was freaking out for a little bit. And we put in reCAPTCHA to kind of quell the bots, right? So I didn't think that was going to be that big of a deal, but launching on a big directory like that, it was. So long story short, launched, had about 1,600 people within the first 24 hours. Actually, Magnetify made number 2 of the top AI tools listed on that day. And I actually want to say that we were number 1 because number 1 was an already established SaaS that just had some rework. So it's been in business for a while, but I guess they just updated something, and so they relaunched on There's an AI for that. But Magnetify, fresh, brand new, got number 2. So I'm super proud of that. So what else has been going on? We had real users now, right? Since we launched on There's an AI for that, and had even more input. Okay, so there were some tiny bugs. And when I say bugs, it's like stuff that you don't notice or the developer doesn't notice because you guys have been in the app so much working on things and testing different things that when you get another set of eyes looking at it, they may find something. So none of these were critical, none of these were major, but it was good. So that way I could, realize what was going on with actual users coming in. So another thing that I did not do when I launched Magnetify, simply because I didn't know what to expect, I didn't put up a chatbot. So like right now, everything is email, and I may introduce it a little bit later on, but I didn't want a flood of people coming through and people trying to talk to the chatbot and the chatbot not actually responding correctly or me getting my messages. So I just kind of left that off. So what else has been going on? So I have super exciting news. So we've continued to have people come in organically and sign up for the Magnify trial and become paid users. So we do have MRR. We are also working on just a little couple things just to optimize things. So not necessarily anything that someone would see up front, but basically to help our overall numbers. So as far as retention rate is concerned, and as far as getting people to actually come to Magnetify and sign up for that 14-day trial and stay on. I am personally working with a mentor, someone who has personally developed a lot of SaaS products and has been pretty successful with the products that they actually have. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going on month 2, as a matter of fact, working with him to get more traffic into Magnetify and to meet, what I want as far as a monthly income with Magnetify. Another cool thing that we've been working on for about 6 weeks now. So my developer and I have been working on another integration for Magnetify, and I'm super excited. I've already announced it to my email list. And so what we are integrating with Magnetify is Kit, and that's ConvertKit, okay? So basically, Kit now has a app marketplace to where you can actually put your software in their marketplace that directly integrates into Kit, into the emails. And so Magnetify will be able to directly integrate within Kit emails now. So if you are a Kit user, you will be seeing that in your dashboard pretty soon. We are in the final testing stages. So there's just like one more thing that we need to add before we can actually send it over to Kit for their final approval. And I'm assuming and I'm hoping that we get that approval within the next 2 weeks, but that is something major that we've also been working on that I'm super excited about. So I'm super excited about this simply because I use Kit as my email service provider, and it's going to be easier for me to actually directly send those leads to Kit into a sequence or a tag. And also for people who have never been exposed to Magnetify and don't know about Magnetify. So once we get approved, people who go to the ConvertKit app store will see Magnetify as an approved app that they can actually install in ConvertKit or in Kit and use within Kit. So I'm super excited about that. And this integration is going to be available for all plans. So it's going to be on the basic plan all the way up to the Pro and the Pro Plus plan. And I really thought about this, and I really was thinking, well, maybe it should only be for the Pro and the Pro Plus users, but I want to make this accessible. And so any future integrations are obviously going to go on the Pro and Pro Plus tiers, but this Kit integration is a little special considering the fact that it's not only integrating it with Kit, it is actually going to be within the Kit marketplace. So for all the Kit users, I want to make Magnetify easily accessible. So that's the reason I'm going to have this on all 3 tiers once it's launched. So basically that's what's going on right now. We are still working on some things on the back end that you guys aren't necessarily going to see. The stuff that we're working on the back end is going to bring more traffic in organically to Magnetify. So basically it's kind of like working on SEO, but it's not quite SEO. it's a mix basically, because we are trying to rank in Google and also rank on the LLMs like ChatGPT and Claude and everything else. When you ask them a question about lead magnets, we're trying to actually get in there. So that's what's happening on the back end. And I'll keep you guys updated on what's going on. So like I said, it's been 2 months simply because there wasn't really a lot going on in that first month. But most definitely, I'll keep you guys updated as far as what we're doing in Magnetify and what to expect in the future. But if you have any questions about anything, make sure to drop me a comment down below. And if you want to try Magnetify for yourself, you can go to Magnetify.ai and you can start a 14-day trial and just try to get some leads. So we make it really simple to get these leads and create these lead magnets, because I also added in a ton of templates for the lead magnets. So that way you can just go in and just input your information and then hit submit, and you've got your link for your lead magnet. So go ahead, check it out if you're interested, and I'll see you in the next video.